All right, let's talk about where I'm at, where I'm going, where I might not be going. Hi, readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, or welcome if this is your first time. Today, I'm going to go over my list of intentions, both for my bookish life, reading life, as well as my personal life, and kind of see where I am. And I have not looked at both of these before just now, so this might take me some time to think about or to kind of adjust to. So let's just see how this goes. Some of these intentions won't be finished till the end of the year, and that's perfectly fine for me. So that's what I'm noticing. The first one on my reading intentions is to read 45 books in 2026, and clearly I'm not there yet, but I think I am definitely on the track to be able to do that. I'm around 15 now, and it's, only April. So I think we're good. Read more books over 500 pages. I was not specific on how many more, but currently, of the 14 books I've read so far this year, two of them have been over 400 pages. One was the Shiver book, the reread of Shiver that I completed, and then the other was The Tainted Cup. So both of those were just a little bit over that. And I also want to participate in the Big Book Summer Readathon with Sue Jackson and some other folks that she usually has around, doing some of that with her. And so I'm certain I will be able to read more books that are bigger. I'm adjusting my expectations of how many books I'm going to read so that I make room for those. And I think that's working well. Third one is participate in readathons and host. So I put MG, which is Mardi Gras, and then BBS, which I'm assuming is also Big Book Summer. And I have indeed participated in a few readathons so far this year. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy that I got to co-host that one with my friend Kat at Kat's Novel Adventures. Sprints, host and join regularly. I have only hosted one this past quarter. I am kind of grappling with this a little bit. I have so many bookish friends that do sprints, and they do them so well, and I don't want to overwhelm people who are already enjoying some of those and others that I don't even know about, right? I don't want to feel like if I start hosting sprints frequently that people will feel torn between joining one or the other. And the reason I'm feeling this way is because this has happened to me recently. I was going to join one, and then I realized somebody else had one the same time. And then I realized that I missed this one because that one was happening. And so I'm just curious about this. You feel free to answer as honestly as you would like. Do you think you need another sprint in your life, or you think you're just good with the ones that you currently have? Just think about it for a bit and let me know. But nevertheless, I have been joining sprints regularly, and I'm very happy to say I think I'm on track with that. Read titles on my Nook is number 5, and I have done that, but not as many as I would like. I also am noticing that all of my ARCs are on my Kindle, and I do need to get to those. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother discussion on BookTube, but I have read two, I think, since I started reading on my Nook this year. I think Shiver was one of them. Dark Tort. I read Dark Tort on my Nook, so I know I got that one in there. So at least two of them were in that space, and I'm happy about that. I'll take that for 3 months that are completed. Good. All right. Pango Shop up and running. Done. And I've actually added a few more recently, so if you haven't looked for a bit, you might want to do that, or you might not, and that's okay too. But I am enjoying that. I just don't publicize it much. I don't talk about it much, so a lot of times I think people just don't know it's there, but it is. It's also called Books, Ink, and Paper, just like everything else that I do is. Rereads, be open to a few of those. I will say I have hit the few, I think. So I reread the Shiver book, and I reread The Hunting Party. So that's two of those. And did I reread another one? No, I think it was just two, but still, two is good. Again, I didn't set specific like goals in this space, so I am open to a few of those. And I actually will tell you that almost every week I have run across or taken a look at a book and I thought to myself, I would like to reread that book. So I'm sure that there will be more of those as time moves on. So the next one is spreadsheets and Libib for bookish inventories or book inventories. Spreadsheets, not so much. I purchased a bunch of spreadsheets, and I got to tell you, it was so confusing for me. I just didn't think I could handle it. And so, what I have done though is that I've added all of my physical shelf onto Libib and all of my Nook shelf onto Libib, which is an app, by the way, it's free. You can just pop them in, you can scan them if they're physical, and you have to enter them in by each one, but it was easy. The next project is the Kindle, but I'm really making progress on that. And again, it's only April, so I'm feeling good about that. The ninth one is read more books in a series that I've enjoyed, and I will say that I have read Will Prescribe You a Cat, which is book number 1 by Siao Ishida. Dark Tort, Diane Mott Davidson. She's completed that series, the Goldie Caterer series, but I have not read them all. But I got another one done, so that's 2, and then another one in a series is The Tainted Cup, which was the number one in that series. But I'm going to read the second one very soon, if not in April. I think it'll be in May. But yes, so I'm feeling good about that. So that's my series for the moment. Those are the ones that I have read, and I'm happy there. And then my last one is a low buy 2026, and to use my libraries more. I would not say that it's been a low buy. I guess I don't really know what would be the sort of definition of low buy for me. I do know though that I have purchased a good number of books already this year. I have also unhauled to try to keep up with the volume of physical and other books that I have. I will say, though, that I am using my library fairly often, and so I guess this one is maybe not an intention I should have combined in this way, but I'm not necessarily using my library to eliminate purchases. I'm using my library to support them, or both my libraries. So I've supported both of my libraries multiple times since this year started, and I'm feeling again okay with that one. I do think though that it would behoove me to stop buying as many books as I've been buying. But at one point, you probably remember from when I did my haul recently, I was buying books from my library's new bookstore to support them because it was their grand opening, and I thought, oh, I've got to do it. So I got several there. I'm okay with that. In fact, I got a library book yesterday. I could show it to you if it was handy, but I don't think it is. I do take them out. I don't always read them, but I usually at least try a chapter and then return them when I realize that I'm not going to get to read them because I'm trying to read so much of my backlist. So I'm doing pretty well with the reading intentions 2026. I feel very happy about that. All right, let's talk about personal intentions for 2026. Number 1, the regular time for creative endeavors, cross-stitching, scrapbooking, knitting. I have been cross-stitching. I have scrapbooked twice. I have not knitted yet. So I feel like I'm on track with that one. That feels pretty good. And I am planning to scrapbook either today or tomorrow. That's my goal, intention. See what happens. Number 2, increase my income over this last year's earnings. I now know what last year's earnings were completely. I did finish my bookkeeping and got that sent off to my accountant, and so I'm happy about that. It's done. I can't say if I'll make more money than I did last year. 2024 was my highest income year. 2025 did not hit that space. Lots of things happened in 2025 that impacted my clients financially, and it is what it is. But I'm not starving for sure, and I had put aside more than I needed for the taxes, and so it's all going to be taken away on the 15th. But I do feel like, hopefully, I can increase my income this year. I've had a couple of things that have already happened that didn't happen last year. Just this last month, I had an increase in some money that I make for coaching from a certain place. And so I think that's all going to be good. Bookkeeping quarterly, I have not done, but I did finish last year's bookkeeping for the entire year. And so I should be able to do this first quarter pretty easily. And then I may change this to bookkeeping monthly because I think that would be so much easier and take so much less time than even doing the 3 months would. That's my hope. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try to get it done soon. Reorganizing the garage. We did a good bit of that. We got rid of a lot of old lumber and things from the bookcase creation. We got rid of some stuff that my son had left in there from the bookcase creations. We got rid of some things that we no longer needed, and we're still, though, in the process of kind of reorganizing. So we have bigger totes now, and we're shifting from old totes to new totes, and we'll probably get some more shelving, and it'll be really, really nice. But it's still kind of not where we want it to be. We'll get there, though. I think that will be fairly easy. Walk and exercise 2 to 3 times a week. I have not done that consistently. I think at the beginning of the year, you remember I was sick a number of times, and I've been sick since then. And so that got in the way for a bit, at least a couple of weeks, 3 probably. And then I also had some times where I just couldn't get the time away to be able to walk. I felt like I was prioritizing other things because they were more important. But I've generally, for the most part, been able to walk at least once a week since the year started. So I feel pretty good about that. Maybe I should have not been specific and I just should have said walk each week. But that's where I am. Car repairs for my car, whose name is Virginia, which is the Prius, and I have not done that yet, but I've had oil changes regularly, like that sort of thing is happening, but I do need them to look at my brakes and manifold. Manifold? Yeah, I think so. I should know. My dad was a mechanic, but anyway, I need them to look at some things soon, so I need to get to that. Connect and do some new activities with family, with both, my partner, but also my kids and things. We've done some things, new activities. We did one new activity this first quarter at the Children's Museum in New Orleans with the baby. We'd been to the museum before, but we'd never been with her, so that was fun. Of course, parties for kids and grandkids and those kinds of things we're always going to continue to do. We went to an outdoor art festival once, and that was fun. We got some art, which we often do. And so we've done a few things. I would say we probably did one a month so far, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Finish the questions that we got gifted by our kids. So we received for Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the one before, an app where a story worth, something like that. And it asks you a question each week, and you write in on the computer your answers, and then they preserve that and send it to your kids, so your kids can kind of get the story of your lives and what you prefer and what you like, and just lots of memories about your life and things that you adore. And I have slacked so badly on that, and I feel terrible because the kids, gifted us that, and it was important to them. I think I still have a window of time to finish those, but I also have saved them all. So even if I don't finish them, I can complete them all. I need to make that a priority because I just don't remember to do that until I have this kind of conversation or awareness, right? So I need to put a list or something up where I can see it all the time. Trust in place, which means a legal trust was going to be put in place. We did not put the legal trust in place because our goal was to stop the look back period that would drain if we got sick and needed long-term care or even short-term care, would drain our savings and whatever else because the look back, if you have to apply for and be accepted into Medicare or Medicaid, for long-term care, the look back time is 5 years. And so we were trying to protect that in another account and give it, send it over to the kids in a trust, and then everything would be fine. We were going to put the house in the trust and everything was going to go in the trust. We changed our minds because the look back won't be eliminated no matter what we do. So we did some other paperwork that we could do, and we obviously have had the kids listed as, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, whatever. But we've updated that because we hadn't done it for a long time, and so now everything seems to be pretty much buttoned up and notarized, and I feel good about that. So that one is done. And I think the last one, are we on the last one? Yes, take time for traveling and self-care days. We haven't traveled as much, or I have not traveled as much. I have done, and I would suggest that Lisa probably has too, some pretty nice self-care days, and maybe not even always days, but definitely I'm making room for when I need space, time, rest, whatever it might be, to just take care of myself, or to just run out and get myself something to eat at lunch, or to go to my library, or whatever it might be. Like, I'm trying to make significant spaces of time to be able to not work 8 to 10 hours a day and be completely like ruined at the end of it. So I am happy about that. And I am hoping that that continues and that maybe we can start doing some traveling a little bit farther away. But also, traveling could be, I could go to the zoo up north of us, or I could go to a new place that I haven't been to in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. I would love to go back there. I could go back to New Orleans and watch a play or a show. All right, so thanks for watching today, and thanks for listening to my intentions and where I'm at. Let me know in the comments below where you're at with your intentions, if you made any, or goals that you may have made for 2026. Let me know if that's something you like to do, or if it feels just like you're trapped into something or whatever. I think changing the name to intentions really has helped for me, because I may choose not to do it. And I think that that's absolutely fine. Whereas years past, I would feel very, very guilty if I didn't do it. And it wasn't necessarily something I was looking at as a choice, which we all have choice. We all make choices all the time, right? So thanks so much for your support. If you haven't subscribed already and you'd like to, feel free to do that. And as always, happy reading and happy intention setting. Bye.